Hello everybody. It's been quite a while. I can only apologise. There's going to be some distressing, I suppose, subjects brought up in this video. So I guess it's best that I warn you now, so I don't want to upset anyone. But I need to fill everyone in on where I've been and essentially what's happened over these past few months. Just going to grab a seat. It's going to take a few moments, I suppose, to get through all of this, but I owe it to you. Now, as I'm sure you remember, things had got bad, very, very bad, and I was ending up back on the streets, which those of you that followed me from the beginning will understand what I endured when I was on the streets and how I just could never return to that. Never. And I attempted to take my own life, as you know. And I ended up being sectioned and I was taken back to Kent, somewhere that I wanted to escape from, somewhere that had an abundance of awful memories for me. So I was in a psychiatric unit in Canterbury, and it came to a point where I was going to be discharged, and I was going to be discharged back to the streets of Canterbury, where all those horrific things happened to me, and I couldn't do it. I'm sorry, but I could not return to that, never. So I took an overdose, a substantial overdose, and I was taken to hospital. It definitely wasn't a cry for help. My intention was to end my life. The upshot was I did an incredible amount of damage to my liver, huge amount of damage, and I am lucky to be alive now, and I'm lucky to have pulled through and not had to have a transplant, because it was on the cards. It really was. I spent a couple of months in hospital, hooked up to God knows what, people around me in very poorly conditions as well, witnessing, people in bed next to me dying, as well as, what I was going through, and I went through that on my own. On my own, I went through that. Maybe my choice, maybe not, I don't know. But it was hard. It really was. It wasn't pleasant. And it made me think. I survived. I survived the attempt prior to that got me sectioned. And I survived that. And everything else that I've survived over these past few years. I thought there's got to be a reason. It has to be. It can't just be a coincidence. It can't just be luck of the draw. There must be a reason. Well, anyway, I was getting to the point where, I was making a huge recovery. And again, I was going to be discharged. I was going to be discharged back to the streets. I made it clear. I said, I can't do it. I won't do it. And I will end my life. I can't do that. I can't go back to it. And it was at that point that the NHS listened, and a representative from the council in Portchlight was brought in to see me. And I said to him, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. I've made it abundantly clear that I will end my own life if I'm being discharged back to the streets. I said, what's going to happen now is you'll section me and I'll go to a psychiatric unit, and within a day of speaking to the consultant, they'll realise that I am aware of my surroundings. I know who I am. I'm not mentally ill to that degree. It's more the fact of my situation. In my eyes, the lesser of two evils would be to end my life than to suffer what I'd suffered again. Because no person should ever have to go through that. And they listened, and they knew that was exactly what would happen, because I've been there before. And a pilot scheme has been launched where basically people in my situation, if they found themselves in hospital, they're homeless or they're at risk of being homeless, finally the NHS, the council, these housing charities would actually communicate, as opposed to how they, before it would just be one entity would go, well, this isn't our problem, it's their problem, they'll deal with it, but there'd be no communication toward any of this. So, you know, the homeless person, myself included, would end up discharged to the streets because it was just simply a case of the buck being passed. But no, finally, there was this system put in place for people to actually communicate, to actually try and do something here. It's called Integrated Care Services, and I was used as part of this pilot scheme, and there was a video made about it, about my progress, and not solely off the back of me, but off of the incredible work from Lorraine, the housing officer, sort of the go-between that I dealt with. This scheme has secured funding for a year in 3 hospitals, okay? And if it can continue with the success that it's had so far, perhaps that could be nationally. And to just think that finally, if a homeless person finds themselves in hospital through whatever reason, if they're willing, they'll be housed. And that's all I ever wanted, was to make a difference. More than anything in the world, I wanted to make a difference. I didn't want my experience to have been for nothing. I didn't want another person to ever go through what I went through. And I've done it. And for that, I'm over the moon. Because what's happened has by far been the worst thing to have ever happened to me. But it's the best thing I've ever done. And to be able to take that away from it makes it worth it. It really does. So, yeah, made a difference. That's all I wanted to do. I'm proud of myself for that. And I'm proud of Lorraine as well, for the work she put into it and the faith she had in me. I will put a link to the video in the description. So I will give you some details now where I'm at. I'm not going to go too much details because, as you know, there's that person that stalks me and makes things difficult for me. I'm not letting them do it again. I'm not. But anyway, I was housed. I'm in a shared house. I'm back in Kent. I work for a major fast food chain. I do what they call maintenance. I do it of an evening. So my generally 10 till 7 in the morning. And my job role is I maintain the equipment, clean the equipment in a very busy commercial kitchen. Pay's not great. It's a job, it's money in my pocket, and it's, you know, it's not the greatest job in the world, it really isn't. But again, it's a job. You know, I want more for myself in life, I really do. But, you know, I've got to work, and I'll take whatever I can get. You know, if that was the job I could get there and then, and that I could do there and then, so I took it. I'm not going to be a snob about it. I'm not going to think I'm too good for it. However, I do still want to resit my gas qualifications and to rebuild that and to have a real career again and to be able to get out of shared accommodation and to have my own home again. Just as the simple things that everyone wants in life. And I want to be in a position where I can start to give back more than anything else. To be able to help people on a one-to-one level, people that have in the situation that I've been in. To be able to offer my support, to be able to offer my advice. Because again, save one person going through what I went through, it makes it worth it. So I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I will get there. And it's thanks to the support I've had from you guys that I suppose gives me the strength to continue. You stood by me through a lot, and I saw that you were genuinely concerned for me, and that touched me because I don't have anyone in my life. I don't have any friends. I don't have any family. And to have complete strangers that have gone out of their way for me, to have shown genuine concern for me, it means so much. In this lonely bubble that I'm in, I've been reminded that I'm not alone. Physically I'm alone, but I know there's people out there thinking of me. Loneliness is something I've got to overcome. It really is. We're social creatures at the end of the day. But I don't know anyone here, and I suppose we all get to an age where you start to find it difficult to make new friends. You don't know how. And so I'm going to try. I really am. I'm going to take myself out of my comfort zone because I've survived, so I shouldn't waste it. Now, I'll try and keep updates for what's going on, but I do have to be cautious because I don't want that person that caused me so much trouble in the past to try and continue to do it, which is tragic. It really is, because they weren't just hurting me in what they did. They were hurting people that I worked with. They were hurting people that helped me. They were hurting the people I was trying to help by trying to destroy my reputation and destroy my credibility. The journey that I was on to try and highlight what it's like to be genuinely homeless in this country and the horrors that can happen. They were taking all that away. If you have a vendetta against me, have one. Not going to be bothered. When you're damaging other people's chances, it's pathetic. It's out of order. I don't know who you think I am. I'm not that person anymore. For one, you don't know who I am. Very few people know who I am. And I know I can hold my head high anywhere, because if you wish to criticise me, walk 10 minutes in my shoes. You'd be dead before you reach the end of the road. It's a fact. So concentrate on your own lives. Anyway, thank you all so much. Okay, and I'm okay. And I'll continue to be okay. Big love as usual. Take care, guys.